Well, that's a different thing. You can't turn like something horrible into something good, but you can wipe away something horrible.
Okay. So turning into something good. I was just arguing, isn't there sometimes value in bad memories in terms of teaching?
Oh, yeah, completely. And I'm not necessarily suggesting that.
Well, my main question is how would you differentiate between maybe when your behavior is actually bad and you need to change versus something you can't really fix and you're just trying to make better?
So the reason I don't shoot, so the question is, isn't wiping away all negative experience to make you a bad person? Like you might be like, well, I only killed 4 people, so I don't feel bad about it, so there must be no problem. There's no sort of like specific guide on that, other than try this, see how you feel, and then see how the people around you interact with you. If you think that you're going down a bad path, stop. This is like all forms of technology. If you have the ability to wipe away negative experiences and you do it for everything and you find that you don't enjoy life as much, don't do that. I mean, this is much more about how you choose to apply it. If you all know generally happy people, I know a few people that are kind of like beautiful, sparkling, joyful people. Those people naturally do this. And then you know people that are always kind of down. They got that $200,000 job, everything in their life seems to be going well, but they're just kind of depressed. And that's also because like they're focusing and reinforcing those shitty memories over and over again. Yes, question.
So we've all been told by people or society to fake it till you make it, assuming that your your story with your ex-girlfriend is true.
It is true, yes.
Okay. You're essentially converting a real story into something more or less fake or lesser to the truth so that you can cope with your present. Are you kind of implying that humans still have the capacity to forgive to such a level that you don't have to alter any of your visual, auditory, or other
The question, I'm going to paraphrase, is are you saying that humans cannot forgive other people?
No. I'm saying that all of this seems like you're essentially manipulating what's truthfully occurred in your life.
Yes. So
whereas
yes.
I understand we all cope and we stress, we do whatever it is
Right.
that would help us heal or cope in the moment. Is it really necessary to use particularly the whole
Memory rewriting.
Yeah,
Sure.
the cognitive.
So it's not. I mean, because all of you didn't know how to do this till right now. And you all of you seem fairly functioning, most of the time. But what it means is that it's not like a magic cure-all, and it's not like it's necessary.
But
It's
you
just.
should do it at all.
Well, that's a great question. This is a beautiful philosophy question, which is, should you rewrite your own memories at all? And I don't know. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not. It's more like, is it good for you or not? Do you want to generally live a life where you tend to remember happy things, or do you see value in focusing on the bad things?
We all do this anyway.
And yes, the underlying point is that it doesn't matter, because all of us do this already. It's like the reciprocity stuff. All the things on influence, we all do this already. We just might do this badly or accidentally. You all have that charming friend who always seems to do very well and people get along with really well. They may do that just incidentally. And you all have the friend who's happy, who seems to forget all the bad negative experiences in their life. It's that this is already there. You already do this. All of us already do this. It's just about choosing to do it intentionally. This is where the power for yourself comes in, where you can now choose if you want to do this or not. Yes?
I just think what's really fun about this is, I thought about this a lot. You decide when you catch yourself doing it. So it's sort of like when you're building up a relationship, and then when you're moving away from it, you find yourself telling yourself the exact opposite things about the same occurrence. So it's really cool to be cognizant of that. So you can either reinforce it, or it's sort of like looking back on an old journal is always very interesting, because you have a very different perspective on that particular time. So it's just good to be aware of these techniques when they're, just so you can catch yourself doing this, and sometimes catch yourself being too down on something and then observe that, or whatever it happens to be. But it's good to understand.
So I'm going to take one more question, then I'll end it, because I don't want to get too late. Sorry, I had this hand up for a while.
Okay, so do you think that the over-application of this interpersonal technology, or perhaps even the mere awareness of the potential for this technology or practice, could become detrimental to spontaneity and authenticity of human interaction?
Great.
Yes. About these things?
So he's asking, if this sort of knowledge will make it so that human interactions will be less spontaneous, less authentic, less genuine, and I work off of a slightly different frame, which is that you don't exist, those experiences are fake and contrived already, and what you think is genuine and real actually doesn't exist. This is a much broader philosophy. This is just like based on how the brain works. Like for example, like those people that have different forms of brain damage, they become completely different people based off of their brain damage. Unfortunately, this is sort of beyond the scope of the talk, but that's an excellent question. The underlying answer is, I don't think it's a problem, but I leave it up to each one of you to choose for yourself how much you want to apply this. And we can argue about the philosophy of what it means to be alive, human in thinking, if the self exists, if your own concept of reality exists, if your own concept of what your experiences were good or bad is actually being true. It's all interesting, but another time. So for now, thank you all of you for coming. Feel free to talk to me after.